A very good morning to all of you. Please accept my apologies for not being present in person to welcome you to the 7th annual edition of the Shared Services Conclave. Although I am sure my good friends Ravi, Rakesh, Sanjay and Anand would take good care of you and my perfunctory presence will not be missed. I take the liberty of stealing a few minutes of this exciting Friday, which I am sure will be as intellectually stimulating as well as professionally rewarding for each of you as the previous editions of this conclave. The previous conclaves have been BPM centric and have focused on BPM as a tool to deal with the challenges of agility, cost optimization, customer experience, and competence development. 3 years ago, when I had the privilege of addressing you, I talked about the ambiguities and uncertainties of the VUCA world. In the intervening years, I have touched upon the voices around the introduction of digital tools like RPA, automatic intelligence, as enablers for the business and the competencies we need to develop to be able to maintain our competitive edge. None of us are strangers to a changing world, but I must admit that the pace of the change has caught many of us by surprise. Technology has enabled organizations to gain access to a significant amount of data through a host of BI and data mining tools. But the data is majorly unstructured. The tools to decipher the data are under development, and all these have to work in a maze of complex IT infrastructure. The question is, how can we translate that mass of data to something more meaningful to us? This is not going to be easy. The amount of data to be generated for GST compliance is a case in the point, both for the regulator as well as for the establishments. The reliability of the master data is going to be the biggest challenge of all. Is it a question of water everywhere but not a drop to drink? I don't think so. Data science skills therefore needs to be built into the finance function along with analytics. Coexistence of a large volume of data and the need for analysis is given, and we need to learn to live with both in real time. Further, technology levers are moving from giving us a hindsight view to a insight view. Historical computing for analyzing past performance is giving way to cognitive computing to predict future possibilities. As the role of the CFO changes from a stewardship and operations domination to being a strategist and a catalyst in business partnering, we need to be prepared for this change. And I believe that the transition is not going to be easy. It needs mindset change, it needs efforts, it needs resources, it needs investments and new skill sets. This brings us to a very pertinent question. If this is the change for our stakeholders, what does it mean for you? If the front office operations gets more and more digitalized, can the back office be far behind? Are we geared up for this challenge? Our McKinsey research shows that we have a long way to cover. Companies seeking to make such a transition face a lot of constraints. Constraints regarding integrating the legacy systems with the newer technology, constraints regarding shortage of talent and skills required to undertake such a huge transformation, constraints regarding conflicting strategic priorities within the leadership team itself. Use of digital as a means to render shared service operations would mean a lot of changes. For example, changes to process and workflows, identifying areas of large-scale automation, changes to talent development, that is refining core competencies, changes to the operating models that will allow a continuous renewal of the business models we follow, changes in the way we collaborate, for example, between IT and operations, changes in the performance objectives we have been used to over a period of time. The focus will move from unit cost per employee to total cost to serve, and many other such performance-related changes. Changes in location and how the centers are organized. Currently, the model is that we have service factories which are far-flung, which process simple transactions. But will this model hold good in the future? I think the answer is no. We have to come up with models that emphasize faster, more frequent, and more complex interactions with our customers as well as our vendors. We from the shared services industry have a pivot role to play in helping our parents on their journey to digitalization. From our back office perch, the shared service organizations are uniquely positioned to help companies realize their digital strategies, improve their front-end customer interactions, and increase their internal productivity. It is no longer about driving the cost down. It is also about increasing the top line. I am reminded of these lines from The Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of innocence. We had everything before us, we had nothing before us. You and I will need to reboot our transformational strategies to help the corporates we serve. With these few words, I wish you a wonderful day ahead. Thank you.